Here today. Now we're here to talk a little bit about Wood Badge. And before we get there, I want to ask these guys up front, who's Baden Powell?
The founder of Boy Scouts.
The founder of Boy Scouts, thank you. You guys don't always know that, but next time you know that if I ask, or anybody asks who founded Boy Scouts, it's Baden Powell. Now Boy Scouts started, I think it was in 1907, maybe 1910. 1910. Okay, 7 in England, 10 in the United States. I always get those mixed up.
That's right.
Now in 1911, Baden Powell started training adult leaders. Why do you think he started training adult leaders? Yeah, so they could teach the Cub Scouts, because having trained adult leaders is very important. Well, so that started in 1911. I think it's 1919. You know these dates by memory? You probably do. 19 by 19. Yeah, you're good. Jeez, John's great with the dates. 1919, Wood Badge started. Now, the 1911 training was all lectures, or lectures fun. No, I'm glad I'm getting feedback here. No, they're not. Lectures are not fun. So in 1919, Wood Badge was started. And Wood Badge is really a great training. And for those of you who haven't been there, if you want to have fun, go do it. Now, when the adults go to Wood Badge, you know what they are the first day of Wood Badge? Do you think they're Scouts or Cub Scouts? They're Cub Scouts, you're right. They get to be Cub Scouts on the first day. Do you think they act like Cub Scouts? Yes, they do. Believe it or not, you get 40 adults out there acting like Cub Scouts. It's kind of fun. Of course, the staff kind of acts like kids too, but that's good. So yeah, Wood Badge is a fun training for adults. It's 5 days long. Now they do this for 5 days, and they sit there sometimes, and they get to play, and they get to sit there and they play. It's kind of like school, but they learn a lot of things about leadership. We shoot rockets off and have races and do all kinds of fun things. So they learn something over the course of those 5 days. After the 5 days are up, they have 18 months to put into practice what they learned. And so they have this little thing called a ticket with some goals on it. And they put that into practice and they go do it. So Meaghan and Jenna were there. They traveled all the way from here, clear up into Idlewild, one early morning, so they could have fun in the forest. So if they could come up, and Jenna wants Jake and Josh, and Meaghan's going to have Nick and Alex come up here. Now, I'm going to get the stuff. John's going to read what we're doing here.
Once a scouter has finished their ticket, the 5 goals that they're supposed to finish in that 18 months after Wood Badge, they get recognized as completing the course. And when we recognize them for completing the course, we give them 3 things. First is the neckerchief, the Wood Badge neckerchief that we're wearing. On the back is a piece of tartan, and that tartan comes from 1919 when Baden Powell was trying to find a place to hold his first Wood Badge course. The McLaren family in England donated their estate. So to recognize that donation, the back of the neckerchief that we still wear 100 and some odd years later has a piece of that McLaren tartan. So Jenna and Meaghan are getting the neckerchief now. So the next thing we're going to recognize them with is the woggle. That's the neckerchief slide. It's a band of leather, no end. It's a special knot. Only used in Wood Badge in scouting. It has no beginning and no end, and it again signifies the life of scouting and Baden Powell's impression of what scouting should be. And then the third recognition is a set of beads. In 1919 and thereafter, when Baden Powell, when Scouters finished his course, he gave them 1 bead. It was from an African bead. He gave them 1, and they then had to carve their second bead. We don't make the adults carve beads anymore. We don't let them have knives. So we give them 2 beads. So Jenna and Meaghan are both getting their 2 beads. When they serve on staff, they'll get a 3rd bead, and if they're ever a course director, they'll get a 4th bead. So now that they have the neckerchief, the woggle, and the beads, They are fully recognized, well, almost. They have one more thing that Greg's going to give them, and they'll be fully recognized as completing the wood badge course.
All right, and this would not be complete until we give them their certificates. So a certificate for Meaghan and for Jenna. Now, they each get 3 to 5 sentences to talk about their wood badge experience.
We had such a fun time at Wood Badge, like they mentioned. We come in as Cub Scouts. I did not grow up in scouting, so it was a great opportunity to really get an idea of how the full program works, you know, from Cubs all the way on up when we crossed the bridge and became Troop Scouts, and we used the patrol method and learned the edge method and all the things that they do at the troop level that I had never been exposed to before. So that was really helpful to be able to see what we do day in and day out with the Cubs and how that will serve them to turn out future leaders as they continue to grow and learn in scouting.
I too, like Jenna, I had a blast personally, but I obviously never grew up in Cub Scouts or scouting. I grew up in Girl Scouts, so it's a very different program. But for me, the biggest thing that I learned actually started on the first day when they had us do a little activity learning about awards, and I realized just how many awards are out there for the Scouts to earn. And so that led to a deep dive and working on one of my tickets to make sure that everybody knew about awards, and that led Jenna and I to doing the Bethlehem Peace Light so that our Scouts could earn the Messengers of Peace Project award. And since then we've actually also had some religious awards earned, so I feel pretty proud and excited that we can continue that tradition in our pack as well as nationwide.
Well, again, I'd like to congratulate Jenna and Meaghan on their hard work and earning their Wood Badge regalia, and congratulations, and you did a great job. Thank you very much.